Captain America Brave New World is finally here, releasing this weekend without much competition in the box office, except maybe for Paddington in Peru. But come on, we know that the bear got nothing on Captain America. Captain America Brave New World is expected to have a domestic opening of 80 million in over 3 days and a global start of 190 million worldwide President's Day weekend on a $180 million budget. Captain America Civil War ended the Captain America trilogy starring Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, and Sam Wilson becomes the new Captain America in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series. Captain America Brave New World continues the story of Sam as Captain America following the election of Thaddeus Ross as the President of the United States. Sam Wilson finds himself at the center of an international incident and must work to stop the true masterminds behind it. Fans are expecting the movie to have a barely fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes with an approval score of about 60 to 70% fresh and a B to B- cinema score. Early reviews for Captain America Brave New World are out already. Let's take a look at what the people have to say about the movie. Ramo writes, "This movie could have been an email, no substance, poor writing, mediocre sequences. The only thing that saved this movie was a 40x keeping me awake." They give the movie 2.5 stars out of 5. Daniel writes, "I thought it was pretty good. The espionage aspect of the film was what I sorely missed in the MCU, and this did a good job. The awful green screens and questionable CGI was a big contrast to the film's gritty side for sure, but it didn't ruin the movie or anything. This movie is a direct continuation of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it does a pretty good job of continuing Sam's journey and arc of embracing the Captain America title. This isn't the film that's going to put Marvel back on track, but it was a lot of fun." Daniel gives the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. Charlie writes, "Basically a movie about gentle parenting. Can Marvel maybe stop making movies for kids and add a little spice? Also annoying that it's super hard to understand and follow along unless you've seen all the TV shows on Disney+. Charlie gives the movie 2.5 stars out of 5. Gavid writes, "A solid, grounded story that feels more like a thriller than a superhero story, and I'm fine with that. Mackie is strong here as Captain America. The rest of the ensemble is also solid, but nothing really blew me away. The first half or so I really enjoyed, and then it kind of loses its footing towards the end. But overall, I found myself enjoying this movie more than anticipated with all the negative buzz and controversy surrounding it." Gavin gives the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. Lars writes, "The story has some fun action scenes, but it is as thin as you can get. And even though it is one of the shortest MCU movies, it has many very boring parts. The actors were also not too great, and the only one who seems to be enjoying his time on set is Harrison Ford. The absolute worst thing about the movie was the CGI and effects. I don't have a problem with some minor mistakes, but this is just on amateur level. In the end, this movie added absolutely nothing important to the MCU, except for maybe one line." Lars gives the movie 2.5 stars out of 5. Ralph writes, "As someone who liked The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Anthony Mackie's Captain America is not the problem of this movie, but the writing. Not to mention the laughable and obvious CGI in the action sequences and even the conversation scenes. When it gives fans some hope in going back to the Winter Soldier levels of action and thriller, or even a sliver of what the greatness that 2014 had, it left with all the crumbs." Ralph gives the movie 2.5 stars out of 5. Amity writes, "Better than Ant-Man and the Multiverse of Madness. That's not saying much though, but there's still some nice action sequences. Harrison Ford is always a highlight. Other cast members feel pretty forgettable, and some CGI shots are not great, which I imagine were the reshoots. Grab a popcorn, switch your brain off, and you will have a good couple hours at the movies." Amity gives the movie 3 stars out of 5. Seems like the movie received mixed reviews, with many finding it lacking in substance and hindered by poor writing and amateurish CGI. Several reviewers felt the story was thin, with some action scenes being fun but ultimately forgettable. Anthony Mackie's portrayal of Captain America was widely praised, though some noted that he couldn't fill the shoes of Steve Rogers. The espionage elements were appreciated. The overall pacing was inconsistent, with the first half being more enjoyable, but the film losing its way toward the end. The average score for the movie is 3 out of 5 stars. Are you guys planning to watch Captain America Brave New World? Let me know in the comments.
Picture that. But everyone.